Hey, it's Matt here. Today I'm going to show you the future of testing in QA using AI to run tests with natural language prompts. And this is powered by an open source library that was just sent to me today by one of the founders of Gumroad. And it's a really cool library. It basically uses Claude's computer vision. It uses Playwright to automate testing the features on websites. And I think it works for pretty much every React app. It works for Next.js as well. We're going to walk through it. Install super simple. Let's talk a little bit about the library first. So it's called Shortest. It lets you run QA, your natural language tests, and it's really straightforward. You can see here it's just import Shortest from into word Shortest, and then we're defining tests. And you can even provide variables, right? We're going to stick to a pretty simple example here just to show you how it works. But if we check it out on GitHub, very straightforward install. So we just need the library and Playwright. We're going to add a directory to our git ignore and then just run some commands. So really basic config file here. And there's support for callback functions and lifecycle hooks, which is pretty cool too. So I'm going to head over to Cursor. Let's see what we got. So I'm going to just real quick make sure that Playwright and Shortest are installed. And I've already done some configuration. So in my Shortest config, we have our base URL defined. We have a test directory, and I'm supplying my API key. Not showing you my API key, but maybe one day. In the tests directory, we're defining a really simple test. So we're just saying, hey, let's go to the blog post section of the homepage and verify the links work. I'm going to show you what that looks like. We'll pm dev. And this is my personal portfolio site. So I've been building this for a while. We'll open that up and it looks something like this. And you can see we've got some nice parallax effects, an about section, some videos, and my writing. Now, this is just a RSS hook into my blog posts, but I want to make sure these links work. And who knows, right? Maybe you're building, maybe you break this functionality, you make a change. We should be testing these functions to make sure we don't do anything bad. And I feel like with AI-generated code, people just write crazy shit. Nobody ever tests it anymore. But that's about to change because we're going to test it with AI. So what do I want to do? I want to go to my blog. I want AI to scroll down to the page or click this writing link and then click this link and just basically make sure it works. So let's see if we can get something to do that. So I'm going to go back here. We need our actual project running. Note that I'm running Next.js 15 plus and React 19 plus. Those are prerequisites. And I'm going to start a new terminal. In my new terminal, I'm going to run npx or run pnpm test. The reason I can just run pnpm test is because in my package JSON, I configured test to run Shortest. That just executes all the tests in the directory. So as soon as I run that, what just happened is Playwright opened a new Chromium window. You can see we're getting some flickers there. I think that's when Claude is taking screenshots. And you can see the cursor moving around there. So just clicked one of the links so you get down to my writing, my blog section. I think it actually clicked the thoughts link, which is a smaller link. That's interesting. And it navigated to one of the blog posts and clicked them, and it just opened it in a new tab. So that's actually really interesting. It did literally the same thing that I did to open this page in a new browser. And now it looks like it actually opened another one of my blog posts to check to make sure it worked. And now I just responded that the test passed. And so just like that with a short configuration file, and literally 2 lines of code, we wrote a QA test in natural language for Chromium to navigate to our URL, for Claude to check to make sure links worked. And this is Shortest. Again, it's a library from one of the founders of Gumroad. And it's just now dawning on me that Shortest is probably a pun because it's like the short test, right? Like, I don't know if I'm just going crazy. It's kind of late here, but Shortest, one of the shortest ways, I think, to write tests, to write QA, and surprisingly good. It worked in my simple example here. I'd love to dig into it more and see if I can get it working with those GitHub hooks, see if I can start to integrate some of those other more in-depth features that are described in the library. Again, this is super early on, but I think a really novel approach to using computer vision to automate the hard stuff, automate the boring stuff, hopefully get us one day to the point where we're not out there either just ignoring tests or using AI to write shitty code that needs to be tested and isn't. So again, I think you should give this library a shot. If you've got a Next project, if you've got a React project that you really haven't done anything with, Plug Shortest and see if it works. I'd love to hear your feedback. I'd love to hear how this works. Also would love suggestions on how I can build with it next. But again, I'm Matt. This has been Shortest, one of the shortest ways to write QA and tests using natural language, using computer vision. Until next time, peace.